Hey, somebody's got to paint the goalpost today. You already did? Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You are listening to the Professional Noticer.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Here, you and I will use common sense and all the wisdom we can muster to move beyond what is true and go all the way to the truth.
You better think about what you're doing.
No, I'm an adult. I don't have to think or do anything.
Creating measurable results for people like you and families like yours. No longer a member of the amateur ranks, I am the professional noticer.
Very impressive. Ultimate punch!
Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, thank you for making me a part of your week. While our topics might seem to vary wildly at times, it is because the things you care about most are often greatly affected by the things you care about least. Therefore, we will field questions about business, spiritual issues, popular culture, and how to actually get the cart before the horse. My purpose here today, and with every show we do, is to play the part of a best friend or a coach. I want to help you live the life you would live if all your toughest questions were answered. The Professional Noticer is sponsored this week by Tucker ATV, the small town business with a national reputation. Observations and answers. Yep, that's what we do here. Every week I toss out a few observations. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious, but you provide the questions. Then we harness common sense and wisdom to plow through the issue all the way to an answer for you. So here's what I'm seeing this week. Our observation topic is kind of odd, I suppose, because it's entertaining to me. My observation topic is how to entertain yourself. You know, I oftentimes get asked questions about how do I keep myself in a good mood? How do I stay motivated? And the true answer, I think we answered this recently, the true answer is, I don't always keep myself in a great mood. It's something I have to choose. It's something you have to choose. Now, I believe that because we can choose how we think, there are certain things that we do when we do. Because people say, wait a minute, how do you choose how you think? Well, your thinking determines your choices, but you can choose how you think. The way you choose how you think is you choose who you are around. You choose what you read. You choose what you watch. You choose what you listen to. But maybe more importantly, you choose what you will not watch or who you will not be around or what you're not going to listen to or what you're not going to read. And all these things have a great bearing on how you act, how you feel. And so one of the things I do is I often choose how to entertain myself as I'm just wandering through daily life. Now, I got to tell you, I got a list of certain things here, and I have not done all these, okay? But I have kept a list of these through the years. Every time I've seen one, heard about one, I've gone and I've written it down. And so I've kept them. And I guess I should tell you which ones of these I have actually done. And so I will. But here's a list. This is just things that I've collected through the years, ways you can entertain yourself. Call National Acme Company, or anybody in your local phone book has the Acme name, and ask if they have any products you could use to get rid of a Roadrunner. So it's very, very funny to me. Next time you're around somebody and they're talking to them and you say, and they say, hey, I'm a nurse or I'm a doctor, kind of reach down to your leg and say, you know what? I've been resting on my leg for a long time and it feels like pins and needles. What is that? And of course they'll say, well, your leg's asleep. And you go, no, I'm awake. I'm awake. It feels like pins and needles. And they say, well, it's your leg. They say that it's asleep because you cut off the circulation. It's asleep. And just look at them like right in the face and go, no, I'm awake. It feels like pins and needles. And they will not know what to do. But now you have to let them off the hook at some point. You just have to kind of laugh and say, I'm just teasing. And it'll kill them. It'll just kill them. And yes, I have actually done this. Now, here's one I haven't done, but I read about it and wrote it down. In the middle of the night, very noisily in your backyard, bury a fully dressed mannequin in your backyard and arrange lawn furniture around the fresh mound. And when the police arrive, which they will, just sit down quickly in the furniture. Sit down quickly, and like throw a shovel over in the bushes. Now I got to tell you, I actually know a guy who did this, and they did dig up his yard, but this was a long time ago, and I tell my boys these stories sometimes, and I always have to caution them. I said, look, when I was growing up, people used to make prank phone calls. You can't do that anymore because people know, there's called, the number, the caller ID. I'm sorry. It's like brain dead there for a minute. But I've also told my boys, I said, when we were in high school growing up, I mean, people would egg somebody's house or they would roll somebody's yard with toilet paper. And I said, you can't do that anymore. I said, there are game cameras. Everybody can go into a Bass Pro Shops and buy a game camera and set it in their yard. I said, there is no way to get away with that stuff anymore. And so and people don't call your parents anymore. They call the police. So this is a lot bigger deal. But there are little bitty things that you can do that because we're just talking about entertaining yourself. Okay, we're not talking about going to jail. But we all have these stories of these people. I had a friend who used to call an addiction hotline occasionally because he'd get somebody different every time, and he would say that he was hooked on phonics. and he would record the answer. It was pretty funny to me. Now, I've never seen evidence that anybody's done this, but I read about this in a magazine one time, and I did think it would be funny to go to the airport and get in line at security wearing a suit of armor. I actually know a guy who, now this was years ago, and again, now a SWAT team might shoot you, but he washed out a gas can and punched a hole in it and then walked, and he filled it with water, okay? Punched out a gas can, filled it with water, punched a hole in the top and in the bottom so that it would drain, and he carried it down a sidewalk in a busy area of town, smoking a big cigar. So, is it matter? Is these okay to say? You laughing over there? Yeah. Okay, all right, good. And I also know a guy. Why are these all guys? Matt, these are all guys. I know girls are not stupid enough to do this. But I know a guy who, when we were in high school, Q-tips had an 800 number on the box. And my friend called the 800 number at Q-tips, and he said one of the cotton swab parts things just came off in my ear. And every time they'd say something, he would go, What are you saying? No, I got this thing in my ear. Your cotton swab came off my ear. And they tried to talk and you go, what? It was really funny to us, like in the 10th grade. Now, I actually have, I've been at the zoo, and I guess this is okay to admit, I've been to a zoo. I've actually done this a couple of times, but it was This was like more than 20 years ago. So the statute of limitations has run out. And once I did it in a polar bear exhibit, and once I did it in a gorilla exhibit. And there were, 10 or 12 people around. And I stood up and I said, "Hey, John, come on, dude, that's enough." I said, "Take off the costume. It's time to go back to the office. Come on. Come on, that's enough." You see what I'm saying about entertaining yourself? I mean, you hear me? I'm right here laughing right by myself. Let's see. Here is one that I actually know somebody has done. And I'm not going to tell you his name. I mean, because I don't think his wife knows he has done this, because he hadn't done this once. I saw my friend do this 3 times, and his wife would like divorce him if she knew that he ever did this. But remember, the topic is entertaining yourself. And I've already made the disclaimer. I haven't done all these. I don't even know anybody who's done all these. But the topic is how to entertain yourself, And so I've kept a list through the years, and so I got 2 more to you, and 3 more, because the last 2 I have done and continue to do quite often. But here's the one that I've seen. And this is years and years ago. We weren't, we weren't the age we are now. My friend went into a public bathroom. He goes into a stall, and for, like, I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds, he goes, "Ah, ah," and then comes out with a smile on his face and a big egg in his hand and goes, "Did it." And everybody just about fell over looking at the guy. But anyway, I know that's probably gross to some, but the guys are laughing. And 2 more. One, and I do this quite often, sometimes when I'm checking in the hotels, because it's just, again, it's funny to me. It's not funny to anybody else, I know, but the topic is entertaining yourself. And, keeping yourself in a good mood, happy mood. And when I check into a hotel, or I don't know, anytime I feel like it, I'll ask somebody, "Excuse me, do you have a change for a nickel?" And you just look at their face. It's just a great look on their face. And you can carry it off just a little bit longer, because they'll look at you and go, "Do you?" Or they'll say, "Seriously?" You go, "Yeah, seriously." And then you say, "No, I'm just kidding." And they'll really laugh. But here's the other one. This is the other one I do quite often. I'm in a lot of hotels. And you know how people get on the elevator together, and if it's crowded, whoever is standing next to the buttons kind of says, "What's everybody need?" And if you're standing on an elevator, when you get on, go to the opposite corner. But notice how many buttons there are, how many floors. Okay, so if there's 16 floors in the hotel, when the elevator fills up and the person's over there pressing them, and they say, "Anything else?" I'll go, "17, please." And you just watch them, and they can't find it. Or if you're in a hotel that has 42 floors, just go, "46, please." And man, they're just trying their best to find that. And then they look and go, "Well, there isn't it. They're in the 46. And I go, "Yeah, I know. I just was just," and everybody will just crack up. It'll be so. There you go. There's the observation today. There was the topic. Entertaining yourselves. I would love to hear how you guys entertain yourselves. And, maybe a subcategory of this: what do you do to embarrass your children? That's a good one, How do you do to embarrass your child? I was going through the Dallas airport. I can't remember which concourse this is on, but there was this massive chair. It was just this huge, like an outdoor chair, outsized. I mean, this thing was like 15 feet high. And so this guy, as I saw as I'm walking up, this guy is sitting up in the chair and he's acting like very proud. And his wife is taking a picture of him, and I see the 14-year-old daughter, and she is just about to fall through the floor. And the dad, he's like, looks over and goes, yeah, this looks good. Here, take it from this angle. And the daughter is just about to die. And of course, the dad is doing it for the daughter. I mean, he is doing, because he knows she's embarrassed, and so he's keeping it up. And I kind of chuckled as I went by him, but I got 20 feet past, and I turned around, and I walked up to him, and I said, hey, can I say something to you guys? And they just looked at me, and I said, I really need to say something to you. And it was the 14-year-old girl. And I said, I want to tell you how fortunate you are to have a dad who loves you enough to embarrass you in public. And they all just laughed. And I said, you guys have a great day. And I left. But, making people smile, making your family smile, making yourself smile. Making yourself smile is the first step toward making anybody else smile. Okay, let's move on. First of all, I want to tell you about Tucker ATV, our sponsor for today's The Professional Noticer. Tucker ATV are longtime friends of ours. This is the small town business with the national reputation. Highway 43 North in Jackson, Alabama. Where is Jackson? You're going to have to look for it. Okay, you're just going to have to look for it on a map. It's not on an interstate, and yet people go out of their way from many states. This is unreal, but from many states, they go out of their way to visit Shannon and Lisa Tucker at Tucker ATV, Highway 43 North in Jackson. This place, I mean, they have it's the biggest Polaris place. They have side-by-sides, they have Polaris ATVs, they have Echo power equipment, Hustler zero-turn lawnmower stuff. Now, let me just tell you something. I know you hear that and go, yeah, okay, I don't care anything about all this stuff. Oh, yeah. No, wait a minute. You want to get off the interstate and go see Shannon and Lisa. This place, it has become a destination. You have to see the man cave. Lisa would be very disappointed if you didn't stop, sit in the swing inside the place and have some coffee with her. You don't have to buy it. They'll give it to you. This is like Floyd's barber shop off a highway. And it's fascinating. They have taxidermy everywhere. They have antiques everywhere. The place it's just awesome. And don't forget to get on Tucker ATV's Facebook page. Lisa writes a lot. And whenever you hear this, I would really urge you to look at, I think it's an August 7th post of a picture of a new mechanic. You just got to see this post. It is really, really funny. Tucker ATV, the small business with the national reputation. Okay, we're going to move on to our question period of the show. You know, the observations and answers are what we do here, and I deliver the observations, but you provide the questions. Questions are a critical component of whoever it is that you and I aspire to become. Nobody should be embarrassed to ask a question. The person who never asks a question, they either know everything or they don't know anything. So always remember the quality of your answers can only be determined by the quality of your questions. This week, our question is from Jacob. He's from Wisconsin. Let's listen.
Hey, good morning, Andy. This is Jacob from Wisconsin, and I graduated from college this past May. I feel that I'm properly educated for the next phase of my life, but I've never been professionally advised. I majored in business administration, but there's so much out there that I have no idea where to start, to even look for, or what I'd be qualified for. College preps us with knowledge and discipline, but I really have no idea, what to look for in a job or even what to look for with companies. Do you have any advice for me on where to start to look and how? Thanks. Bye.
Jacob, hey, that was a great question. That is a great question. I'm excited about answering this for you. I'm kind of jabbering here while I gather my thoughts, but I'm excited about answering this for you because I think this is a question that a lot of people need to hear some perspective on. I think a lot of people are struggling with this question, but they don't know how to phrase it. They're struggling with this situation, but they don't know how to phrase it in a question. And if you can't ask the question, you're never going to get an answer that'll help. You graduated from college this past May. Hey, congratulations. That is awesome. I'm going through your letter here. I feel like I am properly educated for the next phase of my life. Wow, I hope you are. I never have felt like that I have been. And you say, but you have not been professionally advised. You're right. You have not been. And by the way, you're not being professionally advised right now. I don't even know what you graduated in business administration, but I don't know what you really intend to do. Okay. And so what I'm wanting to apply here is just some common sense wisdom. I'm wanting to get to the bottom of the pool on where you should start and what I am seeing. I work with a lot of companies, work with a lot of CEOs, a lot of HR people. And, you say you're not sure what you'd be qualified for or even what to apply for. Okay, let me tell you what you're qualified for. Anything you want to do, that's what you're qualified for. You are qualified for anything you want to do. Now, I got to tell you, I know people who don't have degrees in business administration, and they're almost as qualified as you, but you have the piece of paper. You have the tag on you. Somebody stamped it on your chest. This guy has a degree. He has, completed a degree in business administration. Dude, you got a business thing there. And so you can use this anywhere with anything you want to do. I mean, frankly, I don't know if you knock out preachers, attorneys, teachers, and doctors, I don't know very many people that are working in the same area as their degree indicated that they were going to work in when they got out of college. But you have a degree that gives you probably more flexibility than any other degree anybody could get. And so the deal is that you get to make the choice. You say you don't know what to look for. Okay, and you say you don't know what you'd be qualified for. Okay, the answer is that anything. All right, then you don't know what to apply for. Here's what you apply for. What would you do even if they didn't pay you? I mean, what is it that you're interested in? You say you graduated from college this past May, so I'm assuming you're in your early 20s, okay? You could be 80. I don't know. I read about a lady a couple of weeks ago and graduated from college when she was 80. And so, who knows how old you are, but you don't say, but I'm assuming that you're young. And I would really urge you to figure out what you like and just know this ain't going to be the rest of your life. There have been so many times in my life, Jacob, I'm 59 years old, and there have been 4 major periods in my life when I thought, wow, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is it. This is the rest of my life. This is what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. And it was what I was supposed to do then. And it created a platform, a knowledge base, and I guess an experience base for the next phase that was bigger and better. And it used what I had done before. And so don't be locked in on, man, I got to be really careful because do I want to be doing this when you're 60? Well, you're probably not going to be anyway. Okay. So you didn't say whether you were about to get married or anything. So I don't know. And so don't, if you are, tell your fiance not to be offended by me saying this because I don't even know you have one. But just remember, if you don't have a fiance right now, if you're not dating anybody seriously, just remember that the choices get a lot better the farther along you are. You know, there's not going to be any shortage of people. There's not going to be, you know, all of a sudden people are not wanting to get in relationships anymore. And the more stable you are, you know, building your business before you building your business before you build your house, so to speak, that, you know, there's a lot of wisdom in that. So just consider that. And so when you're looking at where to start or how, remember that you want to look at what is it you want to do? What interests you? What do you feel like you want to learn? But more than anything, what value can you bring? Because that's going to be the bottom line to those people. The bottom line to those people, I hate to tell you this, but it's not going to be your degree. The bottom line for those people, unless you're talking about some company that has, you know, 500 million employees and they're just looking at paper and hiring 6,000 at a time, you know, you're going to have to interview with somebody. Okay, you're going to have to go talk to somebody. And you're going to have to write something. And so just remember, you know, we talk about this a lot, but remember what the product is. It's you. The product is you. Now, I mentioned before, I can close this out really quickly, buddy. I mentioned before that I work with a lot of CEOs and a lot of HR people, and there is a feeling about your generation. You know, I call them millennials, and there's a feeling about your generation that you have been coddled and that you don't really want to work, and that you're more concerned about your coffee breaks and you're more concerned about your weekends, and, you know, that you don't even really want to build a career. You're just like, you know, I want to get along so that I can go ride my bike every afternoon. And so there is also a huge disconnect with your generation and the generation of people in place right now that does all the hiring and firing. A lot of these HR people, a lot of these CEOs that I've talked to, you know, the media says about the unemployment rate of your generation. But what I hear people say a lot of times, now they won't say it to the television cameras or the news media, but they'll say it behind the scenes. They'll say, you know, they aren't unemployed, they're unemployable because of their work ethic, because of the way they act. Now, listen, you know, because of their manners. Now, listen, Jacob, I'm not telling you this to punch your generation in the chest. And I'm not telling you this so that you can feel weird. I'm telling you this to understand how you really compete in the marketplace. You know, what I do as a professional noticer is to help people compete in a way the competition doesn't even know a game is going on. Okay, so let me tell you how to compete, dude. How you're going to get the job is how you are. It's who you are. It is how you act. It is the look on your face. It is the smile you have or don't have. It's the questions you ask. And the questions that it's not going to be so much the questions you answer. It's going to be the questions you ask them that will reveal to them, are you wanting to work? Are you just wanting us to finance your 25-year-old lifestyle? I mean, what is it you want? I mean, because you just got to understand, everybody else is going in there competing in a way that they've taught them to in business school. And the way they've taught them to compete in business school for the most part has been taught by people who have only taught it. And if they have interviewed for something, they haven't done it in 20 or 30 years. Now, that's not always the case, but here's the last thing I want to tell you. You're just starting. And so they're not likely to ask you about experience because they'll know you just got out of college. But if you can, now this would take a mixture of cheekiness and humility. Okay, honestly, no kidding. I'd practice this in front of a friend. I'd practice this in front of the mirror. But this is going to take a little bit of cheekiness, meaning it's going to take some guts, and it's going to take some humility, because if you say this, you can't seem like an arrogant little jerk. Okay? People in the hiring and firing age of our society are likely to be your parents' age, okay? And so, or older. And so if you can somehow get in the question in there somewhere, just say, are you curious at all about any past experience that I have that's taught me anything that might make me a fit or not a fit here? And they'll go, well, have you had any? And you can smile and go, I have had a good bit of experience. And you say it with a laugh. I have had a good bit of experience. A lot of it was imposed on me by my parents, and some of it imposed on me by some of the great bosses I've had at other places I've worked. But even though I don't have specific experience in this industry, I do have a great deal of experience in getting along with people. I have a lot of experience in being on time. I have a lot of experience in having a great attitude. I have experience in finding the answer by myself without bugging everybody else on the team. I have a lot of experience completing my tasks on time. And I got to say, I'm more interested in a future with your company than I am in how much vacation time this job offers. I'm excited about this. And dude, I'm going to tell you 9 times out of 10, you're hired. You guys, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate that question so much, Jacob. You helped me today because you helped me think through some things I need to talk to my sons about. So I think that'll do it for this week. Get us out of here, Matthew. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to the boys and girls who aspire to become ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of another episode of The Professional Noticer. In a world where common sense has become a superpower, I'm harnessing what mental energy I have for you, seeking wisdom, making observations, and endeavoring to answer tough questions in a way that will empower your family and your business. I'm Andy Andrews. Until next week, smile while you talk, shake hands with the kids you meet, and make sure you have an answer to the question, does it really pay to volunteer? And so, till next week, goodbye. This episode of The Professional Noticer was produced by Matt Limpert. The Noticer theme written and performed by Sugarcane Jane. Teleprompter Inc. created by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Additional financial consideration provided by Mon Cherie's Banana Pudding Perfume. This perfume is real. Its essence, its pungent odor, is nothing like that artificial crap someone mixed from a box and brought to your recent neighborhood get-together without their name on the dish. No, this is a banana pudding smell like the one from Grandma's kitchen. an original Louisiana recipe stirred by hand for hours over a hot stove. Mon Cherie's banana pudding perfume. It's just like Chanel, but much, much classier.